everybody. Lila, school teacher. 1, 2, 3, look at me. I want to welcome everyone today. We're celebrating Walter. Richard, would you nudge my father? I'm speaking. Want to welcome everybody today. This is a very big, special day in the Zeman family. As my father would say, he has no one in his family who lived to this age. We're very happy that everyone was able to come and celebrate with us. I wanted to make a few introductions to people that, so everybody here would know their relationship to my father. First and foremost, I want to introduce Lou and Ada Parker from California. Lou was my father's friend since he was 5 years old. Their backyards joined, and they've been friends since thick kid through Ohio State. Lou's moved to New Jersey. Lou's moved back to California. I want to welcome Lillian Freudenberger, who was a salesperson in the infamous Siemens department store. I want to welcome Helen States Gibbons, who is a customer of Siemens.
Hey, Phoenix. River Phoenix.
Of Jessica, Marissa, Erica and her husband Jeremy, and Gregory, of course, wherever Gregory is. Oh, there he is. So, Jessica wrote a poem because she couldn't be here today. And I just want to read it as best as I could. Shalom from the Holy Land. I hear I'm missing a party that I'm sure is so grand. Many people who love you came to celebrate. Unfortunately, my party will come a little late. In June you will see me and we'll have a misiba, which means party in Hebrew, for the ever so wonderful 90-year-old and 2-month-old grandpa. On this day, I wish you a huge mazel tov from your favorite granddaughter with lots of love. She wrote that, not me. In Czech they say, Všichni lepší k narozeninám. I'm sure you will all laugh when this line is read by my mom. Yom Holedet Sameach, Feliz Cumpleaños to Grandpa Walter. Cheers to you. And Marissa put together happy birthday to the greatest grandpa in the whole world.
And my father gave it to you.
We put together a little something about my dad. Yeah, that whole thing. We just want to start with some background about my father, and we start with my father's family. His cousin Diane will read, starting in 1913.
I don't start in 1913, but Walter does. Just some background of Walter's family. Starting in 1913 with Walter's mother, Tilly. Diane, that's me, a cousin, first cousin, once removed. We'll read some recollections that her mother, Lillian Freed, wrote about her cousin Walter's family. Tilly, this is Walter's mother, one of 12 children, left Lithuania in 1913 with her parents, 6 of her siblings, and 2 of her siblings' children. 4 other brothers left earlier to avoid the army. They crossed the border at night into Germany and on to America. It was a very scary trip to cross the border. They were afraid that the children would cry and give everyone away. Tilly's mother, Chaya, took along wine and bread to give to the children so they slept and did not make noise. Tilly married Louis Zeman and lived in Cleveland, Ohio, and had 2 children, Martha and Walter. Lewis was a business agent for the Garment Workers Union. When I lived in Cleveland as a child, I remember Aunt Tilly as the most beautiful person I had ever seen. Sometimes I would walk with her in the street and people would look at her and stare. I was so proud that she was my aunt.
1920.
You
You have to stand up
Project.
and talk to Walter.
Okay. 1920, age 1. When Walter was my age, the year was 1920. There were 106 million people in the United States. 2 million, or 5.2%, were unemployed.
I can't hear you.
Life expectancy was 53.6 for males and 54.6 for females. The average annual earnings were $1,236. Teachers' salaries was $970. The Dow Jones, high was 100, low was 67. It took 13 days to reach California from New York. Dance marathons began in 1923 and became the rave. Dance craze included the Charleston, the Black Bottom, and the Shimmy. One could buy a Ford for $290 thanks to mass production. Harry Houdini was the great escape. The Miss America contest began in 1921 in Atlantic City. A 16-year-old won with measurements 30, 25, 32.
Walter was about my age. The year was 1929. He got his first subscription to the Wall Street Journal. What a year to invest. He really wasn't interested though. He said, just give me math, music, chemistry, and I'll be happy. Well, what else was there? There was no TV, no TiVo, no microwave, no cell phones. Wow, how did they survive? Radio was the thing. Amos and Andy, Fibber McGee, and Molly. This was better than the year he was born. There was no radio then. Movies were popular. Greta Garbo, Rudolph Valentino, Charlie Chaplin, Allo Jocelyn, and West. Would you believe people sat on flagpoles?
A few years before Grandpa turned our age, it was his bar mitzvah. In 1932, he turned 13, and I'm going to read to you an excerpt from his actual bar mitzvah speech. I am very glad you came here today to help me celebrate my birthday. Yes, my 13th birthday, which according to our religious traditions is also my bar mitzvah. Now that I am 13, I am on the threshold of a man's responsibility. It seems rather strange calling myself a man at this age. Our fathers and forefathers at the age of 13 were faced with one problem, which was how to be a good Jew, but the time has changed. At this present day of affairs, one that is a good Jew is not a credit to our people. One must also be a good citizen. Because of the advancement of science and living in an aeroplane age, to be a good Jew and a good citizen is not enough. You must also understand international matters. The great advancement of science, culture, art, literature, and music refuses to be guided by any borderline, religious or otherwise. One must also take an interest in business conditions such as the depression, unemployment, and the relationships between workers and employers. I must therefore think of world affairs and try to do my part in preventing prejudice and hatred.